Greetings! This is the Mad Hermit with you once again for another reading installment. For those of you who've been keeping up with my last entries know that over the past few entries, I've been concentrating mainly on poetry, and I figured that today we'll do something a little different. Introduce a new venue to the Mad Hermit blog, which is instead of doing readings from poetic works, I'm hoping to expand into doing readings from other non-poetic works, namely prose works, whether they might be novels or various books on philosophical thought. Obviously, during these new types of video entries, I won't be reading the whole book for obvious reasons, but just selected excerpts from various works written by various authors. Some of you might know them, namely probably C.S. Lewis will be one of the authors that I would read from. And basically, unlike the poetry reading installments, I'm just going to basically read an excerpt from a select work and just not leave room for commentary. Just read the work and let you soak it in and let you respond likewise to how you feel about it. So today, to begin, I'm going to read an excerpt from a book that I picked up recently in Barnes & Noble, actually about a month ago, written by Anne Morrow Lindbergh, who is actually the wife of Charles Lindbergh, the famous aviator. And essentially, she wrote a very well-sold book. It's called Gifts from the Sea. It's available at every bookstore, whether Borders, Barnes & Nobles, Amazon. I hope you can all see that. But essentially, it's a collection of her thoughts and basically stream of consciousness that she wrote down during one of her brief trips to the beach, and I believe to the beach house she owns. And during her stay there, she spent a lot of time reflecting on life, the individual's place in the world. But not to spend too much time babbling, I'm just going to go ahead and read a select excerpt from her book, Gift from the Sea. So here we go. Alone I watch the gulls at the end of the pier dip and wheel and dive for the scraps I threw them. A morning's work at my desk and then a late picnic lunch alone on the beach. And it seemed to me, separated from my own species, that I was nearer to others, the shy willet nesting in the ragged tide washed behind me, the sandpiper running in little unfrightened steps down the shining beach rim ahead of me, the slowly flapping pelicans over my head, coasting downwind, the old gull hunched up, grouchy, surveying the horizon. I felt a kind of impersonal kinship with them, and a joy in that kinship. Beauty of earth and sea and air meant more to me. I was in a harmony with it, melted into the universe, lost in it, as one is lost in a canticle of praise, swelling from an unknown crowd in a cathedral. Praise ye the Lord, all ye fishes of the sea, all ye birds of the air, all ye children of men, praise ye the Lord. Yes, I felt closer to my fellow men, too, even in my solitude. For it is not physical solitude that actually separates one from other men, not physical isolation, but spiritual isolation. It is not the desert island nor the stony wilderness that cuts you from the people you love. It is the wilderness in the mind, the desert waste in the heart through which one wanders lost in a stranger. When one is a stranger to oneself, then one is estranged from others too. If one is out of touch with oneself, then one cannot touch others. How often in a large city, shaking hands with my friends, I have felt the wilderness stretching between us. Both of us were wandering in arid wastes, having lost the springs that nourished us, or having found them dry. Only when one is connected to one's own core is one connected to others, I am beginning to discover. And for me, the core, the inner spring, can best be refound through solitude. This has been a reading of Gift from the Sea by Anne Morrow Lindbergh, which once again can be found in practically any major bookstore. I should get that glare off, but yes, Borders, Barnes & Nobles, Amazon, And this has been the Mad Hermit with you again, and I am signing off. So I'll let this reading sit with you, and if you want to respond, feel free to comment. And happy reading.